Hey, we got the drone back. DJI Care Refresh was really quick. We sent it off on a Monday and then we got our new one, our replacement, back in on the following Tuesday. So the DJI Care Refresh is really quick and definitely worth the $49. We were really blown away with how many comments we got on our last video. And a lot of people brought out some of the laws, the FAA rules and things like that. I have taken the trust test already, and we are looking into taking the Part 107 test as well. I'll be taking that as soon as I can. We're not a monetized channel. We're doing the channel for fun right now. We're doing the channel to be more accountable, to go camping more often, actually. And so we're not making any money off it at the moment. And who knows if we even ever will. That's not really our plan. Our plan is just to have fun and let people see what we're doing with this really cool ride. I'm going to take that test because I want to make sure that I'm flying this thing safely. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt the drone again. And I want to make sure that I'm aware of all the rules and things when it comes to flying a drone. So we are going to do that regardless if I make any money off of it anyway. We did purchase a sticker kit, a real subtle sticker. We wanted it to blend in with the surroundings, so we chose fluorescent orange. He's a little easier to see now, and we did that on purpose because we couldn't spot it in the tree. So now it is brighter. It did add 2 grams of weight, so it will be registered with the FAA. Y'all don't worry. We did ask a question to the DJI Care Refresh because this was in the tree overnight and fell out the next day. I sent them a question and asked if you did the warranty flyaway replacement plan, whereas you don't send in a drone to them to have it replaced, and then you found that drone. So it's in your yard, you find it later on. What is the policy on that? Can you get a credit for it, etc.? They said that if the case is still open and they have not sent you a replacement, you can send them that one. They can change it from replacement to repair, and then you can use a repair exchange instead of just a replacement exchange. They said if they have already sent you the replacement, the drone that was lost is considered non-existent. They erase that serial number. They will not work on it. They will not accept it again. Period. It's gone forever. So in case you run into that same problem where you've got one and it's in a tree in your yard and you know where it is, that's going to be their answer to that, is if you do get a replacement, the one that you have is now yours forever. They did say that if it falls out of the tree and still works, you're welcome to keep using it, but they will not work on it, they will not warranty it, and it's not registered to them at all again. So.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. This week we've got our winch parts in, our winch plate, stuff like that. We've got our angle iron, everything that we need material-wise. Just haven't had a chance to really get on that yet. So next week's video hopefully will be that, us building the winch mount, and so you'll get to see all of that. And then Andrew and I have a little camping trip planned out, so we'll have that as well coming up and some content. But for this week, we are gearing up and getting ready for our trip to Arkansas in a couple of weeks. And so I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about things that we consider traveling with an old vehicle. There's nothing like noticeably wrong with Termite. We've got our cooling system tip top. It's doing fantastic. We've been driving in this really just crazy heat and humidity down here in Mississippi, and it's been doing great. I've even got stuck. They're doing highway work close by, and I've gotten stuck in like bumper to bumper traffic, just sitting there in some extreme temps with the AC on, and she did just fantastic. So we're not worried about that. The gears we installed a while back are doing fantastic. No noises, nothing weird there. So everything mechanically wise right now is fantastic. So maintenance is what I've always heard. Maintenance is your best tool. If you want to know what do you bring on a trip, start with maintenance. I would never leave here on a trip like that with something noticeably wrong with Termite. Like if there was a wheel bearing roaring, or if we had a bad leak, or if the cooling system was still in question, I would never leave my house on a journey like that and just hope that it makes it. I would never do that. Because, you know, if you got a newer vehicle, the ability to pull into a dealership or have a warranty is one thing. But on something like this, like you're on your own. So maintenance, looking over everything, inspecting everything, get up under there regularly, man. Shake things around, grab things, move it, look, keep an eye on things under here. So at the moment, Termite is mechanically sound. There's no issue. So that's number one, check. That's what I'm going to consider. Is there anything that I need to address before I leave? Number two is going to be our traveling time. Like, not necessarily when we're there, but getting there and getting back. For us, to the trailhead of the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail, we're looking at, according to Gaia, 462-ish miles. We're looking at about 6.5 to 7 hours travel time. That's not considering fuel and food and bathroom breaks and all that kind of stuff. So even though there's nothing mechanically wrong with Termite, I still want to be considerate of it because it is a 32-year-old vehicle. So, I don't want to push it just unnecessarily. Yeah, it's going to probably get beat on pretty good on the trail. It's going to do some stuff on the trail. That's to be expected. But I just think it's ridiculous to abuse it on the way there and on the way back in ways that I could easily prevent. For example, we've gone up before in my truck. We go the interstate the entire way to Memphis and then shoot across. So that's 70 miles an hour all the way up to Memphis. It's the fastest way to get there before the bridge obviously malfunctioned up there apparently. But that was the fastest way. Going as routes would take us through the Delta and up through the bottom of Arkansas takes about 30 more minutes, but it's distance-wise is shorter, but it takes a little longer because you're mostly in 55-mile-an-hour zones. So when we look at the two, even if the bridge wasn't out, the shortest 55-mile-an-hour zone is really the best option, I believe, for Termite. And we're also going to be leaving at like 4 in the morning. It'll still be dark. Temperatures will just be cooler. We don't have an overheat problem. But again, it's just easier on the vehicle, and it's even easier on us. So we just consider those things. Bring those things into consideration. Think about this stuff and weigh out your options. More stress on the vehicle. How much longer is it actually going to take if we go this way? And it's a lot easier to travel on everybody and everything. Some of the things that we're going to bring, your obvious stuff. We've got an electrical kit just with connectors and fuses and wire. We've got those kits. I don't want to bore you with all that stuff. Everybody's seen those kits. We have our basic socket and wrench set. I will be bringing that. I'll be bringing a few crescent wrenches, pliers, stuff like that. But some of the things with Termite, we don't run a dual battery setup or nothing like that. But we do want to have a way that if we're out somewhere, low battery, something like that happens, which by the way, Termite has a new battery. But nowadays, what's new? So one of the things that we have really loved that we carry with us all the time is the Noco Boost Plus. This is the GB40. This is an absolute awesome little jump box. You pre-charge it, you throw it in the little bag. That is literally all that it is. And we have jumped off just about everything you can jump off. We've had dead batteries in vehicles. Hook this up, fires right up. We've done the tractor. I've done the lawnmower. I've done the kids' go-kart. It's done so well on one charge. So obviously we charge it all the way up. We can throw this in the bag, throw it under the front seat, and we've got a little added security and help on the trail. We also don't have onboard air or anything like that. Those things are in the future. But for right now, for the last couple of years, we've been running the good old Harbor Freight little air compressor plugs into the cigarette lighter. Yes, it takes a little longer to air up if you have to air down or something like that. But it works really well. I have no complaints for the size that it is, how much we paid for it. It works awesomely. I have no complaints with this thing. It works really well. So again, this is something small. It's fairly lightweight. It's compact. You can throw it in the back and you're rolling. Saws, some people bring saws and chainsaws and stuff like that when they go. We're very limited on space in here. So I have 2 chainsaws here that I use here around the house, and we do bring with us sometimes locally. But neither one of these are going to make it. Just going to get the good old handsaw, which I would recommend. For firewood, if there is a tree or a limb, you definitely want to have some way to remove obstacles. A lot of times I will bring an impact and sockets with me just for convenience sake. This trip, it's not going to go. Again, size, weight, stuff like that. So, and all I have is the big old 1/2-inch monster. That makes it really fast if you got a flat or something, but just when you weigh out your options of space, size, and weight and stuff like that. So won't be bringing this. When it comes to spare parts, we have a lot of spares for Termite. This, for example, is a spare fuel pump that came with the Howell kit. If you know, I bought it used and it had, this was the original pump that came with it. It works, it puts out the proper amount of pressure, but we put a new one in whenever we did the kit just for insurance purposes. But I kept it and I will bring it because that's not big, it doesn't weigh anything. We can throw this and I can put it in this air compressor bag if I need to. And we've got an extra fuel pump. If for some odd reason, you know how electrical stuff is, the fuel pump goes out, we've got a little quick replacement that we can bring. So we have a lot of spare parts, but it's going through, again, guys, you can over prepare really easily. So you have to kind of find that balance. What's the possibilities of this? What's the possibilities of that? And I know there's no absolute there, man. So at some point you're just going to have to go for it, right? On our phone, we plan ahead. First of all, we have Gaia app. Gaia is incredibly helpful as far as trip planning and getting your routes, finding camping spots, stuff like that. It's all marked on Gaia, especially the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail. Loads of camp spots marked. They're legal, they're safe, so we don't have to worry about that. That's less planning and wondering that we have to do. We can just go there. We also use iOverlander is a really fantastic free app. It's not as detailed as Gaia is, but you can find camp spots there that other people have camped at, left reviews. We try to leave a few reviews on there when we can. So iOverlander is a fantastic app to have as far as camp spots and stuff like that. As far as travel goes, between Gaia, Google Maps, stuff like that is pretty much what we use to find our route. And then there's Gas Buddy. We keep Gas Buddy. We don't know what we're getting per mile in Termite. We are figuring that right now. So here in the next few videos, we'll be able to let you know how many MPGs it's getting.
It's not good.
I mean, yeah. But it's not as bad. It's not great, but it's not horrible. But either way, the tanks on these are really small. It's like I think a 15-gallon tank. So even with great fuel mileage, you still don't get that far. So we're going to have 5 gallons of gas in a jerry can that we will have with us. But we use apps like Gas Buddy to find local gas stations. We go ahead and get them marked. We compare that with day 1, day 2. Are we going to need to fall off the trail? Go ahead and just top off and fill up. Little things like that, man, that you just, if you can plan ahead and have just a general idea, it just makes you feel so much better to have a plan B and maybe even a plan C in those situations. So that's kind of some of the things that we do in prep and planning. We try to stay as light as we possibly can. We try to stay as minimal as we possibly can. That's not always easy when you got 2 adults and 2 children, but we do the best that we can with that. And so plan ahead. We're planning Colorado next summer, and I'm already planning that. Like, what things do I want to have done to this over the next year? All kinds of things. We're already looking at maps, already looking at things out there. So the further you can kind of look ahead, but I will say this, you can also overdo it. You can also way overthink things. So just continue to come back and be reasonable about it, and you'll have fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, we appreciate all the new subscribers, all the comments. We had no idea the drone community was as involved and as big as it is, but that's awesome. Like, we were blown away. We learned a lot of new stuff about our drone, and we're looking forward to being able to give you guys some great shots in the future with it in our videos. So thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.